Hi viewers, welcome back to Multi Magic channel. Myself is Funny. Hope everyone are having a great time. This video will be a very interesting video because this is a retrospective video of the Multi Magic's product. So where I will be discussing how the product has been evolved and what are the challenges we have gone through during the evolution. So I will be touching on the points how the product has been evolved in terms of design, in terms of features, in terms of architecture, in terms of platforms, mobile segment, embedded segment, and quality, team, organization. So all those details I will be discussing in this particular video, and I hope this will be a very interesting video. And on that note, let's start. So to start with, we will be go back and see what are the features we have developed. We started with a very simple feature MP4 to MP3, and then we supported only at that point the platforms are Android, Ubuntu, and Windows. So now we have grown rich in the features, like we are supporting video to audio and video to video, extract video, trim, resize audio to audio, and these are the formats we are supporting currently, and these are all the 10 video formats, and from these video files we'll be extracting the audio supported the particular videos have the audio, and then we are converting the video codec format from X264 to X265, maintaining the container the same and the MP4, and then we are extracting the video. I mean, we are not adding the audio stream, we are just only extracting the video stream from a video container file, which is MP4, and regarding the trim and resize, we are just trimming and resizing the MP4 file, and then it's audio to audio. We're converting MP3 to all these things, and we are also happy to share that we have been evolved in the other platforms apart from these things. Like we are into iOS now, and we are into Raspberry Pi platform, and we are into Mac OS X platform too. So all these platforms we are able to evolve in the last 2 to 3 months. So next we'll be discussing about the major challenges we have faced during this evolution. Initially, we started with of course, as I mentioned, we work for part time for this particular product, and then we are kind of also not very experts in audio and video, but we have a minimum basic knowledge based upon the previous experience. So we just started very rudimentary, like all the functionalities is in a single page or in a single code, single file, and then there is no, it's just a POC. It's like, okay, with this particular way, with this particular methods, all those things, we can convert an MP4 to MP3, and then we started with that, and then obviously there is no design pattern, there is no architecture, there is no reusable modules, and the solution is not even scalable in the sense, like if you want to expand it to like more number of users, or different features if you want to add it, we found it very tough actually initially, because if you're touching one place of code, the other piece of functionality is been breaking. So a lot of kind of and then it's like it's a very 600 700 lines of code, and wait to change, you want to change in multiple files, there is no reusable modules, functions, classes. It's like just normal functions, and basic main is there. So apart from that, and there is no reusable module. So a lot of uh, uh, things were I mean, what I'm trying to say, a lot of problems we faced during developing these multiple features. So so the first thing we did is to come with a simple architecture. So this is the architecture actually. So we have an input file and we have output file, and then this is what happens inside the process. So whatever parameters we pass from the console, those are given to the argument parser, and this argument parser will check, okay, whether all the parameters I passed is correct or wrong. So once the check is done, it gives it all the parameters as it is to the translator. Now the translator will convert this particular parameters into understandable parameters required for the processing. So now once these parameters are given to for the processing, so now it starts based upon these parameters, it initializes few things like the memory needed, the output file names, and then the type of encoders, decoders needed. So all those kind of basic initializations will be happen. Now, once the initialization is done, so you open the input file and then you keep on processing the each frame, and then you kind of do whatever required, and then finally complete the process for all frames, and then you finally you clean up all the memory what you allocate, and then you write all the data into the output file. So this is the process. So we divided this. So this is, as you remember, this is a simple two-way modular approach. So this is the left. This is the one two. Why I call it as a two-way modular approach. The first is like you just add a segregation between the parameters and the process. So all the parameters, all the controlling parameters got pushed to a level up. So if you give a two-way model, so the bottom two-way model is the below block is for processing and the above block is for controlling all the things. So it's like, so once the controlling parameters came up, so it's very easy to control this particular application from the outside world like a UI or from the console or from whatever it is. So this really played a very crucial role for us in, even though as I said, it's not, I'm not telling like this is wow, a wonderful design or a wonderful architecture, but small things which this helped us to kind of whatever time we are realizing on this product, it helped us to move things a bit fast at that point of time. Okay, so down the line we still evolve, but we started with this. We will evolve. So this is a two-way simple approach. This is the first main thing we started. So this product actually, so as you know, so this is the architecture actually. So inside during the initialization of process frames, so we have different classes actually. So we have interface class, we have media class. So if you want to convert video to audio, this class is called. If you want to do only video to video, and if you want to both audio and video, this class will cross. So this is resize class, trim class, and the raw data generator class. So we have different classes, and all these classes has most of the things same across them, and all the same functionalities. So this is the media conversion. So this media conversion class converts an audio video into the different format of audio video. Okay. So now, so for audio conversion, video things are not required. For only audio conversion, video processing functionalities or classes are not required. And for video conversion, the audio processing functionalities are not required. So we'll be overwriting those not required methods to void in the override class. And for the resize, we need audio and video, but only thing is we just kind of change the resolution of the input file. So we'll be just overriding a particular initialization or whatever function is needed in the media conversion class. And then for the trim, we don't take all the timestamps, only few timestamps we take. And so while processing the frame, we just skip few frames. And so we are just overwriting the process frames here in the trim. And for raw data, it's like we are generating the raw data from the input and output file, and we are just overwriting few methods. So as you can see, we are just overriding few methods from the base class to achieve the desired functionality, which is called virtual polymorphism. Like one class is behaving in a multiple ways based on the parameters we passed and based on the functionalities required. Almost all the modules defined, I mean, and then we are also kind of we are not completely reusing. At to an extent, we are reusing, and then we are following a simple for virtual followers and that. So this particular backend design also helps us to add a feature very easily, like in the same in like very, we just want to tweak small things, and then later and also functionality wise we are not disturbing the existing feature. So to make it very simple, the two-way modular approach from the architecture point of view helped us to maintain the interfaces very clean from the console and UI point of view. And from the backend design point of view, we have defined the multiple classes we have, which are kind of reusing the base class methods for most of the times. And a few methods we are overriding here based upon the kind of conversion we are using. So both these instructions, are given to us by our mentors actually. So as a team we have discussed, and these are the guidelines as a team we form majorly driven by our mentors. So these two-way modular architecture, what it we have come across this architecture based on the flow. So for any media applications, there is a specific flow, and based upon that flow, we have cut it very simple and adding accountability and very cautious on CI/CD process. So what does this means? Like, see, as I mentioned, I keep on repeating this point. We are basically working on this product over the weekends. So what happens is whatever little work we do, we don't want to make it waste, or else we don't want to keep it void. We don't commit like all those things. We don't want to do. We want to take care of every single activity, and we add accountability for it, and it like kind of CI/CD process. If there's any small feature we add, we test it, we commit the code, we kind of do all kind of uh, to other platforms, all those things we do. So this is the one if and only if a small feature, small change is working across all the platforms, then only we commit that and then go ahead with the next set of feature. So you got my point, I hope. Like whatever small things we are doing, we are making ensure that it's adding value to the product. So that is one of the key guidelines. It's like a lot of people have this kind of mindset. It's like uh, I'm not telling the mindset, like maybe it has some conception like, okay, startup company means it's like everything is rudimentary and there is no certain not process is not there. It's like it's always like kind of things. But here we do a lot of a process we follow, and also as I mentioned, like adding functionality is easy and flexible here, because as you see in this class, like I just can add class and then just override one or two methods. I will get the required desired functionality, and I'm not disturbing the other functionalities, other features. So it is easy and flexible. Of course, it saves a lot of time and efforts, and also since we are having this base class, derived classes, virtual polymorphism, all these things, we can come up with unit test cases, and we have unit test framework, and it's a simple Python unit test cases. But in future, we also have a plan to write G-test and Gmock too. So, and also we have Gmock and that is for code coverage. So even before the executable is generated, we're gonna kind of do some code coverage by mocking the class, and then whatever the class functions are there, we call it, and then we test it. Okay, the class is, for example, the conversion class is behaving as it is, as expected. So all these things we have taken care. So just want to summarize for this particular slide. So as I mentioned that we started with a simple code. I mean, where in the one single file, all the code, all the functionality has been captured in a sequential way. And since it is becoming difficult, we followed this two-way model approach, which helped us in actually controlling the parameters from the high level, such that the processing blocks only take care of the process. And then later we have some this back-end design, and then these are the product guidelines we have been following. So all these things taken into the account has really helped us evolve over a period of time for the last 2 to 3 months. Sorry, my bad. Let me have some water. So all these things has helped us to evolve as a product with the rich guidelines from the development, from the leadership team or from our mentors. So on that note, next slide will go. Yep. So one more big step we have achieved for the last 3 months on this Multimagics product is on the build structure or the build environment. See now what happens is in general, uh, see uh, let me explain. Okay. See, in general, like if you don't have any specific infrastructure, unless and until you have a strong infrastructure in that means like build tools, build environment, and like kind of if you make any small change, what are all the libraries you need to build, all those things. So unless and until if you're clear on those things, you cannot really come up with a smooth flow, because it is a since it is a media application, and We have a dependency on third-party libraries like FFmpeg, and FFmpeg depends on some other third-party libraries like MP3, AC3, and X264, X265. Like a lot of these libraries, it depends upon. So every time we are kind of picking one version of FFmpeg from one for one platform, and for other platform we are putting some pre-built libraries. For other platform, we are kind of picking for other versions. So it's all like it might work in one version, it might not work in other version. So for that reason, actually, we have decided to actually build a scripts, a single click, like in a single click for all the platforms from the same source code, same version, everything should be built based on that. So for that reason, we have built FFmpeg from the sources, and its dependencies also from the sources, and all the libraries that are generated, we use it for our Multimagics media suite. And this suite generates again few libraries, a single library. Of course, for now we have few. We are also, apart from Magic's Media Suite library, we are also carrying some other FFmpeg libraries also. So both these libraries together we are using is in the application, which uses finally does the conversion and the executables are generated. For mobile, actually, we are using whatever libraries are generated for these particular Android and iOS platforms. We are generating those libs and using the React Native plugin project. So I will be touching this in the next slide about as a React Native plugin. And later we are also using this and we are importing these plugins into the app using the React Native commands. Then I mean like nps like npm import or yarn-yard. So using those React Native commands, we are importing that React Native plugin into this front-end app, and finally we are generating the APK. So that is how the build process. I think I forgot to mention one point in the beginning of the slide. Apart from the features, we are from the multi-match product, we are able to up our product to the different platforms like Android, iOS now, Mac, we're going to the Windows, Raspberry. So all the six platforms, Multimagic's application is available. So I think I said it, but I just want to retouch that point since we are discussing here the build scripts for all the platforms. So these are the console things and this is the mobile things. And of course, so it took us almost nearly a month and a half to actually come up with the build scripts that actually suits the need. So what is happening here is basically, see, so the guidelines again from our leadership and mentor team is like after all these approaches, it's like see, unless and until the source code is same, you can't really bet on the functionality of the media application. You might never know like whatever internal libraries or internal dependency libraries or source code you are using one version, other version. So a lot of confusion happens. So it's better to maintain the libraries generated from the sources on a single click for all platforms using cross compilers. Okay, so this has made us to really seamlessly integrate our product into a different to other platform very seamlessly. It's like you just prove the concept on one platform, you build it and you test it, and for the other platform nothing really changes. Only thing is the build process changes, and from the UI point of view, or I mean from the integration point of view, here are 10 to 20% code deviates. So apart from that, everything remains same. So that's the beauty of this build infrastructure. So once you have this build infrastructure with you, you can really play around with multiple platforms. So that way, what happened is it is easy to maintain, and it used all the different kind of flags and options across all the platforms, and it made our job really easy. Of course, it took us some time to come here, but that's how the product should go. Okay, so coming to the next slide. So now this is let's discuss from the mobile aspects. So far we have discussed the two-way modular approach, the We have discussed the two-way model approach. We have discussed the backend design. Then we have discussed the build infrastructure. So in all these three categories, we have evolved. So now the fourth category which I want to touch on this multi-magics product is the UI development. See, initially, if you have look at the Play Store in the initial version, it's a very kind of a basic. So it is very uh, tough to maintain. I wouldn't say tough to maintain, but since the backend is evolving and the front end is also evolving, initially we don't have which which kind of design fits for the backend. So it's like we have revisited the UI development. So first we came up with one version, we put it aside, and then we came up with one more version. Like I think 3 4 iterations we have done for the UI. Finally, we figured it out. Okay, so this particular kind of flow or model is kind of gelling with the backend, so we can pass the parameter seamlessly to the backend or the integrate or the CPP layer. So that's how we locked it, and this is how the current UI looks like, and this is all done using the React, and of course we use React Native plugins and the CPP modules which internal uses. So this we have two tabs, video tabs, audio tabs, and what are all the 6 features are there. All are projected. This trim audio is not working as of now. We are actually uh, fixing few issues, and these are all the files where you can see what our files you can select and you can convert to them. Okay, so I just want to uh, reiterate on this. Uh, so basically, I think if you in the same video you can see here, see, give us this
Growing a
gameplay
startup
data.
is tough.
In Android
Uh,
and Objective-C++ wrapper in
yeah, so if you look at this slide here, see, mm, yeah, see, this is our front end UI look. So this is initially it is a React native application. So this React native application talks to the JavaScript Java layer. So which is for Android, it's Android, and iOS is Objective-C, and this JNA calls a CPP. So it's like here it is all the React JS Java. Here it is all the JavaScript, and here it is all the platform layer specific code. So which has the I mean if you so this our React project is like a front end project. We use the simple React commands to create the project, and inside that project we have a particular folder where you can put the backend code. There's a separate folder for Android and also for iOS. And for the Android, this is the thing, we have the JNL layer, and for the iOS we have the Objective C++ layer, and this talks to specific. So this is how you call a backend application from a UI, and this is so you can see here this particular platform layer specific code is part of the front end project. So it's not like it's been segregated where you develop the plugin project separately and then you import it as a library. So similarly, you see in the build structure, like like in general backend code, say let's say you're depending on a third party library. It's not like all the source code of that library you maintain in the actual. You just build that separately, maintain that separately, and just import the libraries. In a similar way, for our particular front end React application depends upon a particular plugin code or a particular native code. So we don't want to include that native code in the front end and make it large. And we faced a lot of issues like which folder to change, where to change, how to change. So all these difficulties we faced. So now in the current structure, so having discussed on this, so now we can see here. See, so now what I said is React Native is a part of React app project, not a good architecture and tough to maintain. True. And also currently React Native plugin is now a separate project. So as I mentioned, like or that it's a separate project, and you can separately build it, develop it, and test it. And React app will input and use it. It's not like it may app is not responsible for the plugin code. So it's like if you're a React developer, you can import different like image viewer, video picker, something similar like that. They will be using our Media Suite Multi Magics plugin to do some conversions to make it very simple. Okay, so and of course it's easy to debug, and also the current features in console app are also working for Android app, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. So whatever six features, all the six features are working for all the platforms. Only for iOS, currently one particular feature in the audio segment is working. Other features work is in progress. It's because the build process for the iOS is bit different from the other platforms, and we have to, and and iOS has a lot of complexities, lot of uh, library dependencies are there. Team is working on it, so we'll definitely in the next couple of 2 to 3 weeks, or we'll try to not try. We'll definitely make the iOS app up also. So the yeah, so on that note, so this is how we evolved from the mobile perspective to make it very simple. It's like we didn't club all the projects into a single project structure. We are maintaining as there is no specific design pattern for the UI as of now, since like we are kind of learning few things on the UI, but at least we ensure at the at the modular level. So the plugins project is separate, UI is separate, and Android has its own integration layer, iOS has its own integration layer, and it's more or less we can control the project. So all these guidelines and all these tips again are given by our leadership team and our mentors, and we are very lucky to have them in this project actually. So the next slide is a very interesting slide. So initially, we want to only initially we want to develop it only for for mobile applications. Of course, for mobile applications, it's like you want to first prove all the things on console and then later to mobile. But embedded, it's not in our picture actually. But our mentors gave an idea. See, here embedded in nowadays, embedded on media is both are tightly coupled. Lot of IoT projects are happening in this particular segment actually. So what is happening is like we have flashed a Ubuntu image on this particular Raspberry, like for that particular ARM 64 ARC 64 architecture, and then we have used cross compilers. I mean, let's, as I discussed in earlier videos, we have a host machine, we have a guest machine, and then we are building everything on the host, and then we are flashing it on the testing it on the running it on the target. But we want to change the flavor here. So as everything is in console applications, we don't have any server kind of thing. Since it's a kind of a, again, we don't want to maintain a Ubuntu server. And again, Ubuntu console, Linux console application is already there, and we don't want again a Linux server. So for to something different and to have fun on this embedded side actually. So we have developed a the idea for now as a proof of concept, only the console application is there, but down the line this R by 3 our application will be running on that server, and if any request came from the PHP client or web client, we'll say that those details will be catch up by the application and it will convert and you can download. It's similar like there's a PDF file you upload and then it converts, it splits, and you can download something similar. There is a server, and the server is running is using a typical RPi, and then you can send requests, or as a byproduct you can also use it as a console. You can, we are planning some small projects on the Raspberry Pi in that terms also. We'll update on that. Timelines will keep you posted when we will update that. So this is about one of the major evolution from the multi-magic spread point of view. Like we are able to put go this into the embedded layer also. So all these things happen is because we have a design, we have an architecture, we have a build infrastructure, and then we have a very good, at least a basic UI and some approach for the UI. Like, so all these guidelines, principles, factors, if you maintain well, it is definitely that we believe like we can take this particular product to all the platforms seamlessly. Okay, so that's our ultimate goal actually. So now, having said that, so now let's Teammate, hey, see, this is our team. Actually, this is myself, Funny. This is Subhash, and this is Murali, and this is Venkat. As everyone knows, this is Rishi. So we have been doing a lot of videos together, and he's one of the member in the Multi Magics. We have met as a team. Actually, our president is missing in this. I don't have any pictures of it, but Suresh. So everyone, we met Suresh Potle, our president and CEO of Maiga as well as Multi Magic. So he owns a couple of organizations. So we met, we discussed, and then we had a lot of fun. We worked together, and then it's a kind of we actually enjoyed a lot those couple of weeks in Hyderabad, and we discussed a lot of technicalities. Okay, so what we came up. So this is our vision and actually the roadmap. See, actually software, especially a startup company, it means like we need to work a lot on the. Well, it's like a lot of uh, in the previous experience we did a lot of work actually. I mean, I didn't do explicitly, but our team has did a lot of things in the previous startup, but a lot of things were not captured. There is no like CI/CD kind of development. So here, whatever little things we are doing, we're trying to capture it. We're trying to get accountability for it, and we have a strong process, and then we have a very good streamlined process. And our approach, we believe our approach is like path breaking for a startup arena. So it's like we are following all the basic industry standards. There is no rudimentary approaches. There is no layman terms here. So we are kind of a path-breaking startup process-oriented company following all the industry norms. So that's our actual vision. So we want to be there. We want to actually do it in a right way and things that has to be happening in that particular way. And the roadmap is like we want to develop rich features for audio, video, like compressions, and much more, like merge, add watermarks, etc. All those things we'll be doing. And also, we will be ensuring our Multimagic's application or the product is available in the market for Android and iOS applications in Play Store, App Store frequently. And also, we improve the quality and save time by adding different tests and the seamless design for the across all platforms. So, yeah, I believe, yeah, I have, yeah, this is our vision and our roadmap. So, to just summarize as a whole, if you have with little changes, with little making things with small little changes, we know as a startup, this overhead, this process is a kind of overhead to us as a to our team. But we are thinking in long term point of view. But in long term point of view, we are definitely gaining a lot of time and energy because of this efficient and simple process. I'm telling once again, I'm repeating. This is I'm not trying to tell this is the best process, but this is the current process we are following, which is working for us. Even though we're working part time, we are able to progress this far because of this rich infrastructure and process. And then we are kind of actually very happy that we are in this stage today. And whatever challenges we faced, I thought of sharing in this video. So I hope these challenges will definitely kind of help for you for your products also. And on that note, I would like to end this video for today. So if you have any queries or if you have any questions, please do mention in the comment section, or you can reach us to us to our website or our blog, whatever. Until then, keep working hard. Take care. Bye bye.